The journalism fraternity mourns the loss of a stalwart. Investigations continue into a chemical leak at the Pine Hill Dairy. And coming up in sports, Barbados has another Pan Am qualifier.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC News Night, starting now.
This segment of Weekend News Night, brought to you by Sagicor, wise financial thinking for life.
Good evening, I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. The local media fraternity is in mourning following the death of one of its brightest sparks.
My name is Vera Walcott, spelled Verewalcott. And with a face like this, you will hardly...
Veteran journalist and former CBC employee Vera Walcott passed away this morning. He was best known as Charlie Bravo Charlie, one of the first local helicopter traffic reporters in the late 80s and early 90s. Former manager of the National Council on Substance Abuse, Tessa Chatterton Shaw, interacted with Mr. Walcott on countless occasions in that capacity. She says she's shocked and saddened by his passing.
He was a consummate professional, very detail-oriented. I'm very interested in the issue of substance abuse and its impact on young people. He had a big heart, and he will be sorely missed as a professional, as a journalist who was very keen on issues pertaining to Barbados's overall well-being, and he shall be sorely missed.
Wonderful words by Mrs. Chatterton Shaw. Vera Walcott was 69. With Barbadians observing National Heroes Day today with a holiday tomorrow, the Methodist Church has taken time to salute Barbados' lone heroine, the Right Excellent Sara Gill. Gill was a defender of Methodism when its existence was threatened here in Barbados during the 1800s. And this morning, the James Street Methodist Church held a wreath-laying ceremony at her gravesite, which is situated on that church's compound. Elder Affairs Minister Cynthia Ford placed a wreath on behalf of the government, while other members laid theirs on the church's behalf. During her sermons, Sister Shanika Best called on the congregation to operate by faith and to be inspired by several of the characteristics that Gill demonstrated in her lifetime.
We read that our very own Sara Gill was determined amidst the continuous threats on her life for keeping church meetings in her home, even to the point where she was prosecuted by the House of Assembly in that time. Can you imagine? Sometimes when I think about my own trials and then I hear things such as these, I feel really bad because my things are mere things, simple things. I really cannot imagine someone threatening my life. But she persevered. She did not let that deter her. She continued to move by faith.
An ammonia leak at the Pine Hill Dairy plant in the Pine triggered an evacuation and led to a section of the ABC highway being closed last night. Now, emergency services were called to the scene of what was deemed a hazardous material situation around 5:45. Residents in the neighboring Pine community were also updated. The ammonia leak at the plant was reportedly the first of its kind. The situation was brought under control about 5 minutes to 9. The area affected was accessed and the valves shut off. Now, the all clear was later received at 9:30. There were no reports of illness nor injury. Pine Hill Dairy, meanwhile, in a statement says it is continuing to investigate the leak. It states initial investigations suggest it was caused by a rupture in one of the pipes serving the PhD's refrigeration unit. The company says as a precautionary measure, that unit will remain inactive until investigations are concluded and the necessary repairs are completed. Even after 42 trips to the island, Barbados is still the destination of choice for Bert and Sharon Tenbrinke. The couple from Canada were among the most recent repeat visitors to be recognized by the Barbadian government. Sharon explains that what it is that keeps them coming back.
There's just a feeling here that's indescribable. It just gets hold of you. We brought our children here. Now that they're grown up, they come with their spouses and they bring their children.
Ms. Tambrinki says things in Barbados have changed over the past few decades.
We notice a big difference in the shopping. When we first came here, there was a little store down the road where we used to go to get our groceries, and now there are big stores, and there's even one that's like Costco at home. So we're very pleased with the changes in the shopping.
Thousands turned out at Kensington Oval last night to see Grammy Award-winning reggae artist Buju Banton perform at the Long Walk to Freedom concert. In fact, police have estimated that about 17,000 people attended the event. Buju appeared after 1 a.m. From then, it was a sing-along session for fans as he belted out many of the hits. Earlier in the night, patrons also heard from Buggy Nikente, who was the opening act, and Wayne Wonder. There was also a performance by Sprague Benz, who says he was happy to be a supporting act.
Buju is a person that actually was very instrumental in my beginning as an artist. You know, he was the one that actually told me what to do, advised me, drink milk, gargle your tongue, looking at your book, you know, so me and him come a real far way. Wife that come there, me and him been, you know, in the music business for a while. So watching him tonight is going to be a great deal for me because this is my first time I'm going to see him since Freedom. I didn't go to Jamaica just because I wanted to see him tonight. And you know, I'm looking forward to the new music that he's going to be putting out because I know that he had time to relax and scan the whole field and know exactly where he wants to be. And he's a conscious person, so giving him time and him space, Buju is here.
While many teenagers like to spend a lot of time on their computers, one young man has taken it a few steps further and built his own. And he doesn't plan to stop there. More in this report from Lorna Jones.
Meet Kyle Cox, a 15-year-old St. Leonard's School student. Now, he doesn't study computer science at school, but it hasn't stopped him from building this computer himself.
One day I stumbled across a YouTube video and it taught me how to build a computer, and it was like, I could do that. And so I got the parts and here we go.
That's right. He's self-taught, and he's already set his plans for the future. He wants to open a business building more customized computers like his. Kyle is also into repairing computers, a skill gained by using a virtual learning program. And he's currently trying his hand at developing a game.
It's hard. You need time, yeah, and you really need to understand how to do it. But once you understand it, it's easy from there. I'm thinking of like publishing it on Google Play. Yeah, when I'm finished with it.
As Kyle's mother, Teresita Cox, explains, she is happy to see him involved in a positive pursuit.
I'm happy that he has found a niche area that he loves and that he can use to actually one of these days make a living from. So I'm very proud of him. And I think the whole family is really proud of him, very proud of him.
She thinks encouraging more young people to be entrepreneurs is a great way forward for Barbados.
I'm really happy that our country is also pushing that, especially with the youth entrepreneurship. I'm really happy that we are trying to open up doors because I guess years ago we probably thought only adults could think about being entrepreneurs. But now we have recognized that and we are acknowledging it, that children can also be their own entrepreneurs.
While Kyle isn't busy building or fixing computers, he makes sure Mom is up to date with her computer knowledge. And as Barbados continues to place emphasis on technology and entrepreneurship, it looks like the island's future is in good hands. Lorna Jones, CBC News.
Thanks, Lorna. Seems like a very positive young man. Over in Guyana, Regions 3, 4, and 9 are among the 5 regions to benefit from improved roads. This follows the signing of multi-million-dollar contracts by the Central Housing and Planning Authority.
The Parfait Harmony, Bell West, Herstellan, Tabatinga, and Lethem are among villages to benefit from the contracts awarded to 15 local contractors on Wednesday. Minister of Communities Ronald Bulkan said that the contracts are geared to upgrading roads in various housing schemes across the country.
Yes, the contracts that would have been signed earlier, I believe there were approximately 15 contracts in 5 regions for a total sum of a little more than $750 million. Contracts ranging in value from, I believe, $17 million $47 million, and is to provide for both upgrading and consolidation of the infrastructure in existing housing schemes. I think the point needs to be established that the CHNPA, that this administration has been engaged in the past 3 years with the task of consolidating the infrastructure within housing schemes that we inherited, where the infrastructure was incomplete, the roads were not to the proper standard, the drains, the water supply, and electricity.
Leon Saul, Chief Executive Officer of the Central Housing and Planning Authority, encouraged the contractors to produce work of high standard.
I want to urge the contractors to honor their commitments. I ask you to deliver quality products on time and within budget. We will not tolerate unnecessary variation and poor quality work.
A gunman opened fire inside a synagogue in the U.S. state of California, killing one person. It was just after celebrations had begun to mark the final day of Passover.
Almost 100 people had gathered at the Chabad Community Center and Synagogue in Poway, north of San Diego, to celebrate the last day of Passover, the Jewish holiday. A white 19-year-old male, identified by police as Jonathan Ernest, entered the synagogue and began firing a semi-automatic rifle. Bullets struck 4 people, killing an elderly woman and wounding a young girl, a man, and the rabbi presiding over the service.
Obviously, looks right now, based on my last conversations, looks like a hate crime. Hard to believe.
As the gunman fled, an armed off-duty Border Patrol agent employed to provide security at the synagogue chased him,